Unemployment is not just a statistic on a news screen. It is a person who wants paid work and cannot find it, a family delaying bills, and a business district with less spending. The number matters because it points to unused labor and lost income. Economists usually count someone as unemployed when they are not working, are available to work, and are actively looking. That definition excludes many painful situations, such as people who stop searching, work too few hours, or take jobs far below their skill level. Frictional unemployment can make the surface story look simpler than the real situation. There are different kinds of unemployment. Frictional unemployment happens when people are between jobs. A designer leaving one company and searching for a better fit may be unemployed briefly even in a healthy economy. Structural mismatch is often the detail that separates a quick reaction from a wiser response. Structural unemployment happens when workers' skills or locations no longer match available jobs. A factory town may lose jobs to automation or relocation. The workers may be capable, but the old jobs are not coming back in the same form. Cyclical layoffs shapes what should be checked next. Cyclical unemployment rises when the economy slows. If customers buy less, companies sell less. If companies sell less, they may cut hours, freeze hiring, or lay off workers. The job loss then reduces spending further. Seasonal work turns the idea into something practical rather than only theoretical. Seasonal unemployment appears when work depends on the calendar. Tourism, farming, holiday retail, and construction can all rise and fall during the year. The worker may expect the pattern, but income still becomes uneven. Slow hiring recovery deserves attention before the choice becomes harder to reverse. The unemployment rate can move slowly because hiring is cautious. A business may wait for steady orders before adding staff. Even after sales improve, managers may use overtime first, then temporary workers, and only later permanent hiring. Wage pressure can quietly move the cost from the present moment into the future. Wages and unemployment are connected, but not mechanically. If many people are looking for work, employers may face less pressure to raise pay. If skilled workers are scarce, wages can rise even when the broader unemployment rate looks moderate. Long search damage helps explain why the obvious answer may not be the best answer. Unemployment affects more than income. Long job searches can damage confidence, routines, health, and relationships. Skills can fade, networks can weaken, and future employers may unfairly judge long gaps. Young worker momentum gives the situation its real-world weight. Young workers often suffer differently from experienced workers. If the first job is delayed, early savings, training, and career momentum may be delayed too. A weak start can shape earnings years later. Late career layoffs is worth checking when the first explanation feels too neat. Older workers may face another problem. They can have valuable experience but also higher salary expectations or skills tied to older systems. A layoff late in a career can be financially and emotionally severe. Benefits during search can decide whether the problem stays small or grows into a pattern. Government policy often responds through unemployment benefits, job training, hiring incentives, infrastructure spending, or interest rate changes. Each tool targets a different part of the problem: income support, skills, demand, or business confidence. Training matched to demand keeps the analysis tied to behavior, money, timing, risk, or trust. Unemployment benefits help people keep buying essentials while they search. That supports households and local businesses. The design has to balance support with incentives and the reality that suitable jobs may not appear quickly. Hidden underemployment belongs in the decision because it changes what action would help. Training programs work best when they match real demand. Teaching skills for jobs that are not hiring does little. Strong programs connect workers with employers, apprenticeships, certifications, and local labor market needs. Business demand becomes more reliable when it appears more than once. The headline rate can hide important details. A low unemployment rate may still include weak wages, unstable work, or people working part-time because they cannot find full-time jobs. A single number cannot tell the whole labor story. Industry risk signals should be checked before accepting the most comfortable explanation. Businesses watch unemployment because it affects hiring costs and customer demand. When many people are unemployed, sales may weaken. When unemployment is very low, hiring can become expensive and competition for workers grows. Childcare and transport barriers needs to be connected with the actual consequence. Households should read unemployment as a risk signal, not a personal prediction. If layoffs are rising in an industry, it may be wise to build savings, update skills, strengthen networks, and reduce avoidable debt. Skills fading keeps the topic grounded in daily life. The painful misunderstanding is blaming every unemployed person as if the job market were only about effort. Effort matters, but so do location, industry shifts, childcare, health, transport, discrimination, and economic cycles. Local spending decline can be found in behavior, documents, timing, or repeated choices. Unemployment matters because work is one of the main ways income moves through an economy. When labor sits unused, families lose income, firms lose demand, and society loses output that could have been created. Type of job loss makes the issue easier to name in plain words. The most useful way to read unemployment is to ask what kind it is. A short job search, a skills mismatch, and a recession layoff require different solutions. The right response starts by naming the real source of the job loss. Unemployment also affects people who still have jobs. When layoffs become common, employed workers may spend less, delay purchases, and avoid big risks. That caution can reduce demand for local businesses, which may then slow hiring even more. This is how job loss can spread beyond the first group affected. Unemployment is also personal before it is statistical. A worker who loses a job may cut subscriptions, delay medical care, postpone rent decisions, or move in with family. Those choices then affect other people and businesses. A single lost paycheck can become a smaller grocery bill, a missed loan payment, or less traffic for a nearby shop. The length of unemployment matters. A 2-week job gap is not the same as a 9-month search. Long gaps can weaken savings, confidence, skills, and employer interest. That is why unemployment is not only counted by how many people are out of work, but also by how long they remain disconnected from work. This is why unemployment data is often watched with wages, job openings, participation, and hours worked. One number alone can hide important differences. A market with many job openings but few qualified workers has a different problem from a market where qualified workers are available but businesses are afraid to hire. The cause changes the solution. If businesses are not hiring because customers stop spending, the problem is weak demand. If jobs exist but workers lack the needed skills, the problem is mismatch. One situation may call for economic support, the other may call for training, relocation, or transition help. Unemployment is not just a number in a report. It shows whether people, businesses, wages, skills, and demand are connecting properly. A healthy labor market does more than give people paychecks. It helps households plan, businesses grow, and communities remain stable.